Did you realize we live in a body, we have a soul, but we are a spirit? I'm Tonyah Dee, registered dietitian, and I believe it's important to feed all three parts. So this month's recommendation for feeding body, soul, and spirit is home space. Create a home space for yourself where you can be creative, where you feel comfortable, where you can establish good habits for health. One thing that we've all been exposed to, that we all really know now, is how important our health is. So make your home your sanctuary, a place where you feel comfortable. I myself, I've moved my exercise bike right into my living room. I used to not want to do that because it didn't look right. But I'm throwing all those doesn't look rights out the window, and I'm creating spaces where I can go to be more grounded in my heart. Like I created a God space and places where I can go and feel nourished. So we want to have a home space. Our home space needs to be able to support our health and well-being. So this month, the recommendation for body is make your body number one. Everyone's body is so different. My body is different from your body, is different from obviously everybody else's body. And each body has a certain set of its own needs. Only you know what your body needs. So this year, make your body your number one priority. How can you upgrade your health? One of the things I recommend is adding things as an upgrade. The mentality of I need to take this away and take this away and take this away somehow doesn't really resonate so well in our psyche. So adding in, I'm going to add in taking vitamins this year. And I recommend taking vitamin supplements, mineral supplements, and oil supplements just as the basics. Everyone should be taking those three supplements. How do you add in more plant food? How do you add in some more fruit for your sweet cravings? So think in terms of adding in, not taking away, and it'll feel good to your body and your soul and your spirit when it thinks it's getting more, not less. So make your body number one this year. Get to know your personal body and what really makes it feel good. So for the soul, and our soul includes our mind, our emotions, and our will, our free will. So our soul is a very big part of us. And what I recommend for the soul this month is see if you can focus the soul not on these three things, because these are all changing all the time. Our mind changes, our emotions change, our desires change. See if you can focus your soul on a higher power. Other words for the soul are ego or subconscious. And if we're too focused all the time on what our mind is thinking, what our emotions are feeling, and what are our desires, what do we want, it's hard to actually have kind of a clearer vision of what we actually need overall and how we can achieve more power in our life. So staying focused on a higher power, whatever that higher power is for you, keeping your thoughts fixed on these higher powers, like our breath is a higher power, our word is a higher power, how we use our word, our health is a higher power. And of course, I believe God is my higher power, but you might call it a different name. But stay focused on the qualities of your higher power. And that tends to keep your soul where it needs to be, which is surrendered. These things, our thoughts, emotions, and our desires, surrendered to this higher power. The higher power is where we have more consciousness, more awareness, and more wisdom. So in the mind, what I recommend this month is focus on protecting your mind. This year, there's going to be a lot more information coming at us. It's the information age, and we need to protect our mind from the wrong information, because the mind stores everything that we expose to it. It's like a big computer hard drive. So protect your mind. Also decrease toxins that might be hitting your mind. Release toxic substances or toxic people even from your life that might be affecting your ability to have clear vision and be able to see that higher power and be able to see down into your own heart. So really be protective of your mind. In the emotions. So emotions come, emotions go, and other people's emotions come and go. And the art to emotions is to observe them. Like, have the courage to just tolerate the emotion that presents itself by observing it from that higher place, which might be peace, it might be acceptance, it might be love. So we learn to tolerate our emotion by observing it from this higher place and not getting too involved in it. So observe your emotions, and they'll tend to go away too. You'll see that everybody's emotions are kind of coming and going. So in our will, our free will, our desires, where we really desire things, our will really desires relationships and balance and harmony, harmonious relationships. So if you have relationships that aren't so balanced, you might feel our will is where hunger comes from, almost a deep inner hunger to right that relationship or have a relationship that does feel balanced. So if you're overly hungry for other things, take a look at your relationships and see which ones are feeding you and which ones are out of balance, and really nurture and nourish the ones that are feeding you, and the ones that are out of balance, try to establish some new dynamics in your relationship where it does work for you and it does feel like, oh, this is a harmonious relationship, even if that means I'm not going to see this person so often. It's more harmonious when I don't see this person, and that's going to actually feel good. Our will desires relationship, and that's actually why spiritually speaking, surrendering our will to a higher power or the will of God really works, because our will wants relationships. And if we can establish a relationship with this higher power, with God, then we tend to feel like things are harmonious and balanced. So in our spirit, what I recommend this month is establish a ritual of prayer. Now, prayer works. I'm a science major, and even the science shows that prayer works. And one of the reasons why I'm recommending establishing a ritual of prayer is because when we go into a space and we're able to be vulnerable and honest, like we can say or think things that we're grateful for, thankful for, that's honest, we're coming from our heart, things where we're struggling over, that's being vulnerable and honest. And we hear it, and this higher power, God, will hear it too. And with prayer comes grace. So grace is an unmerited favor. Grace is this movement that creates ease in our lives. And the way I see it is, how can God work, or this higher power in our lives, if we're not honest, if we're not admitting the areas we need help, or we're not admitting the areas that we want to grow in? And then somehow higher power and God comes in and shifts things around, makes life flow better. So grace makes life easier. So establishing that ritual of prayer where you receive grace afterwards is really beneficial and can help you to create not just a space in your home, but a space in the world where you really feel like life is working for you, not against you. Phew. Okay, well, I'm Tonyah Dee. I hope that this was helpful. Go in grace and with grace. Thanks so much.